Hi, welcome to this webinar. Thanks for being here tonight with me. So tonight we are going to talk about healthy bowel, healthy you. That's a very important subject because gut health is really at the basis of our overall health. It's really a very important, and we can really say that like most illnesses, not to say pretty much all of them, are related to, well, at least partly related to gut imbalance, especially the gut flora imbalance. So we're gonna talk about that tonight and see what it means to have gut flora imbalance, and what are the signs we can identify that are related to gut imbalance, and well, what we can do, what are the consequences, and then what we can do to then have a better gut health. So first of all, well, thanks again for being here. You can use the chat on the right of your screen to ask questions. Well, maybe first tell me if you can hear me, please, like just to be sure I'm not talking all alone by myself. So if you can just tell me if you can hear me and see me in the chat. Okay. Also feel free to introduce yourself, tell me where you are in the world, as online webinars allow us to connect even if you are like very far apart. So I would really like to know where you are. Yeah, I see people from Canada, the US, yeah, pretty much different cities in the US. Great. Japan. Wow, awesome. So for those of you who don't know me yet, please let me shortly introduce myself. So my name is Melanie Silla. I'm a holistic health guide, and I've been passionate about natural health like pretty much all of my life. I remember that already as a teenager I was reading books about holistic health, about naturopathy, about spirituality as well, and since a very young age I really could feel, I mean, for me it was just obvious that we are not just like a physical body, but that it's like even it's much more complex than that. And I've been interested in the spiritual energy approach since then as well. I did my like first like academic training more than like 10 years ago now, and it was aromatherapy. I was blessed to make a training in Switzerland, where I come from. And it was both classic aromatherapy and also holistic, like energy aromatherapy. So the use of essential oils for the body, but also to balance the mind, the emotions, the chakras, and etc. So it was a very comprehensive training, and it was just really life-changing for me. I just fell in love with the oils, with these smells, and I started to, right away, I guess I started to create my own personalized blends and to create essential oil perfumes as well. Like very customized ones, and I was just loving that. So that's really, that was like love at first smell, I guess. And I've been using essential oils for myself, for my families, and now for my clients for a very long time. I didn't work in that field though. at that time, because my first career was as a translator. So I worked more with words than with people at that time. And well, even though I really liked doing that, I knew that, well, someday I wanted to work in holistic health. I didn't know exactly what I would do, but I know that I was very interested in naturopathy, and I wanted to train like one day. And then a couple of years later, I had my son, and then at that time I said to myself, okay, like, you will do it 1 year, one day. When will that day actually be? You might even not even ever do it if you keep saying that. So I decided to start a training, academic training in naturopathy. which I did, and after that I also made another training in holistic nutrition, because I've always been very interested in the nutritional part, like what we put in our body, like literally, and the reaction it can have, the relation it has with how we feel and our body and all of that. So that I did these trainings, and I started to open a practice and work with people one-on-one and in groups. I created some online trainings as well. And so my approach really is an approach of guidance. I could say I'm kind of between a counselor and a coach, in the way that I'm deeply convinced that we all have the answers inside of us. If we can really connect and align with our soul, we all have the answers we're looking for. But sometimes, like due to some circumstances in life and other things that can happen to us, we kind of disconnect from this inner guidance, and that's when it can be really useful and empowering to have someone who can guide us and help us move forward on this path, and eventually reconnect with this inner guidance we have deep down. So yeah, I'm a guide. I work with my clients by, of course, giving them informations and practical tools to improve their health. I also look at at the chakra imbalances there might be, so that we can find together the root of the health challenges the person is facing. And yeah, we really work together as a team to address these health challenges. So okay, so yeah, so that's I'm a holistic health guide. So enough about me. So we are now gonna start the webinar about healthy bowels and why it's so important for your health. So let me share with you a presentation I've prepared. So let me just take a second to share my screen with you. Okay, here we go. So it's really the importance of the guts, the intestines, is very critical for our overall health, because as you might know, our immune system depends for 80% on our guts health. So it's really very important, and like when we have like a weak immune system, which can translate into like frequent colds, and like, you know, like when we say like catching everything that's going around, and yeah, all these like fatigue as well, and not being very resistant. So all of that is linked to the immune system, and the immune system really starts in the bowel, in the gut. It's also interesting to know that actually 95% of the serotonin is manufactured in the intestines. So the serotonin is the happy hormone. So when we know that, we can really easily understand now why, why the the health, of our guts can really influence our mood, our emotions, even of course our like spiritual energy level. It's very interesting to see that people who have like very strong gut imbalances, when we work on that and we really reestablish a balance in their flora, the difference on the mood can be really extremely important. Like some people who felt easily depressed really see a huge difference at that level, or like you can start to be more patient. It's like, for example, I know like for myself, I have gluten intolerance, not allergy, but intolerance. And when I eat, if sometimes I eat gluten, I can really see almost right away how my patience level drops. It's just I have a 3-year-old son, and with him I can really see the difference. It's really striking. So that's the way it manifests for me. The gut is sometimes called the second brain, and it's really what it is. I gave you here a quote from Michael Gershon, who is professor and chair of pathology and cell biology at Columbia. And he said that the gut can work independently of any control by the brain in your head. Like it's really functioning as a second brain. It's another independent anchor of integrative neural activity. So again, we see why how important the guts are for our overall health. Okay, now what are the effects of an unbalanced intestinal flora? Well, first we have to understand that to be healthy, the intestinal flora has to be balanced. Well, has to have a balance ratio between good and bad bacteria. When we have too many bad bacteria, so that means like really not healthy bacteria, then we have bad intestinal health. What can happen is that, well, we can have like putrefaction and auto-intoxination developing in our guts. So it means like basically when the intestines are healthy, the wall of the intestines are a bit like if you have a net, a net with like very small holes in it. It's when it's like that when the intestine walls are healthy. It means that all the right proportion, the right amount of nutrients can actually pass through this wall and go into the system, because we have to know that the assimilation, well, most of the nutriment assimilations is actually happening in the intestines. So it's really important that our intestines, sorry, are able to have the right have the right assimilation. So then, if it doesn't happen, what can happen, and what is often called the leaky gut syndrome, is that this net I was speaking about, the holes, sorry, are becoming too big, and the consequence is that the toxins. The toxins can actually pass through the walls of the intestines and go back into our system, which means that what will happen is called auto-intoxination, that we are actually, well, intoxinating ourselves with our own waste. So instead of going out of the body, it will go back into it. And it will result in an overload of the other emunctores. The emunctores are actually the doors for the waste in the body to go out. So we have three main emunctores, which are the intestines, the liver, and the kidneys. So that's the three main emunctores, and that's through them that most of the waste, when they are working properly, of course, are going out of the body. But well, then if these three main emunctores are kind of getting overloaded, what happens is that we have two secondary emunctores, which are the respiratory system and the skin. The lungs. That was the word I was looking for. The lungs and the skin. And then, if the other ones are overloaded, they will just take over. And that's when we can see catharsis happening, and skin issues as well. Like we can have acne or psoriasis or eczema or all these kind of skin issues, because the body just needs to release the toxins, and it will release it like how it can do it. I mean, of course, the body is always tending to restore the inner balance and to protect the vital organs. So it will do everything it can to put the toxins out of the system. Now, what can already happen is, especially with for people who are easily constipated, is that the remaining wastes are kind of building up on the walls of the intestines, and it can really create, like, sorry for the not very like nice details, but it can really create kind of a crust, which can be like almost one half an inch thick. So a kind of crust of old wastes that's sticking to the wall intestines. And the result is that what we call the intestinal lumen, which is actually the free part of the intestines where the waste can move to go out, to be expelled of the body, is actually more and more reduced. So it also means that the nutrients cannot properly pass through the intestinal walls anymore, and so that's why that's when we can actually have carences and this kind of troubles. Plus, of course, the putrefaction that will happen with all these dried waste. and the auto-intoxination that we just talked about. So that's some of the effects of an unbalanced intestinal flora. Now, what are the signs of an unbalanced intestinal flora? How can you detect it? So one of the signs is bad breath, and also gas and bloating as well. Gas and bloating are basically a sign of putrefaction into the body, and bad digestion, for example. And we will talk about that later in this webinar. Like, if you don't combine your food properly, you can also have bloating, because the digestion is not working properly. We'll come back to that a bit later. So yeah, we mentioned poor digestion, the irritable bowel syndrome we talked before. So this basically going from constipation to diarrhea, and diarrhea to constipation. Chronic pain as well can be a sign of an imbalanced intestinal flora. Poor sleep, headaches, weight gain and loss. So let me just pause for a second here regarding weight gain and loss. That's an important point, because sometimes we think that, well, people who have an overweight are less healthy than people who are really thin. That's not necessarily the case. So basically, we can see that, to take like both extremes, depending on the people, the body can react in two ways to toxin overload. So either it will, well, in both ways, as I mentioned earlier, the aim of the body is to protect the vital organs from the toxin overload. So in some people, what the body will actually do, well, try to put it simply, that it will put the toxins into fat cells. So it will like coat the toxins with fat, and obviously what will happen is that we will gain waste and gain fat. Like cellulite is a very good example of that. Cellulite is basically toxins imprisoned in fat. So the body is that so that the toxin can't can't circulate anymore in the body, so they won't harm the body more. So that's when weight gain happens. Now, for other people, it's just the opposite. It's basically the body is saying, okay, there are far too many toxins, far too much. I can't manage that amount. So what I do now is I don't take anything anymore. So I will basically just reject anything. So many of these people will have diarrhea, or going from constipation to diarrhea, and vice versa. But of course, it creates problems relating to how the body can take the nutrients in, because if the body like kind of expels everything, a lack of nutrient can happen. Poor assimilation of the nutrients. So that's basically why I'm talking about both weight gain and weight loss being part of the signs of an unbalanced intestinal flora. Now, another sign is fatigue. And hormonal imbalances can happen as well, and all the skin related issues we talked about earlier, because the skin is trying to expel all the toxins that the intestines and the other emunctories cannot expel properly anymore. So okay, so now we have the signs. Maybe you recognized some of these for your own case. So now, what can we do actually to take care of our guts and recreate the bowel well, balance, like a good balance in our bowel again. So the first thing I would say is really deep cleansing. First thing is kind of like decluttering our body, so that we can create a healthy kind of new basis to then rebuild a healthy intestinal flora. So how can we do this deep cleansing? Well, first of all, I would say that it's very important to detoxify the body, which basically means really give the body and the digestive system a rest, so that it can really get rid of all the toxins that are already here. So what we will do is working with the nutrition, the food we are eating, of course, so that during a period of time like 1 to 3 weeks, depends on the level of intoxication, we will really only eat foods that will support, well, that first will not add more toxin overload to the body, and also that will actually support the body in cleansing, in like really letting these toxins, releasing all these toxins. What we can do during the same time than the detox to kind of have this big cleansing being done quicker, is doing enemas and colonics. So I know that people don't really like to think about that, but it's really very, very powerful and pretty easy actually when you are used to doing them. Ways to really detoxify and yeah, cleanse the intestines. Enemas, you can do them at home pretty easily. Colonics, who are basically like a deeper cleansing of the intestines, are done by professionals. So if you are fortunate enough to have a professional doing that in your area, that's really something I really invite you to try for yourself, doing colonics. Obviously, before doing enemas or colonics, make sure that well, go ask your physician, and make sure that your overall health state allows you to do that safely. So, of course, always check with your physician first. Once we have done this deep cleansing, like doing a detox and cleanse everything out, like release the toxins, it's now time to rebuild a healthy intestinal flora with good bacteria. Good bacteria are actually called probiotics. So you can find probiotics in health food stores, for example, and it's really very important to take fresh probiotics that have lots of of probiotic cells, because as you will take them internally, they will go through your digestive system, and part of the probiotics will actually be killed by the digestion acid, which is totally normal, but it's important that there are enough probiotic cells so that enough of them will stay alive until they are actually in the intestines. So taking probiotics is something I really recommend. I would say at least twice a year. Now it's even more important if you took antibiotics in the past, or if you are taking the contraceptive, if you have been taking the contraceptive pill for several years, because that's all things that can really wreak havoc on your intestinal flora. Now you can also once you have done these, you have taken these probiotics, it's really a good thing also to eat food that is naturally rich in probiotics. You can eat them like every day or every other day, a few times a week. These foods are actually fermented foods, like you have drinks or foods like sauerkraut, or you have kombucha or kefir, or these kind of things that are really very interesting for you. Just be careful with kombucha, for example, if you have or you suspect you have candida, because that could actually feed the candida. So that's to avoid in that case. But otherwise, it can be very healthy for you, and especially for your guts. Now, proper food combining. So that's I mentioned that earlier. So I will give you two basic rules for proper food combining, because if you don't combine your food properly, what will happen is that it will give much more work to your digestive system to digest everything, and you will probably feel tired after the meal, or have bloating, or like acid reflux, or all these kind of things can happen. Simply because the body will need much more energy to actually digest your food. So two basic rules for proper food combining. So you can eat starch with vegetables together, or protein with vegetables. What's better to avoid is eating starch and proteins together, simply because these two kind of food don't use the same digestive fluids to actually digestive enzymes to digest these foods. So if you eat these foods together, the body will kind of not know anymore which kind of enzymes it should produce, and be a bit lost, which will result in much more energy needed for the digestion, and therefore more fatigue for you, for example. So proper food combining is really something really important. I invite you to experiment with that, and see if you see a difference if you avoid mixing starch and proteins. And one more thing that is important is to restore healthy bowel movements. as we said, like constipation can really lead to an overload of waste in your guts, and this building up of old, dry waste in the gut that will reduce the assimilation faculties in the intestines. So it's very, very important. So what can you do to relieve constipation naturally? So first thing is move daily. It can be like really gentle moving, like walking every day, or it can be yoga. You have in my free guide, Healthy Bowel, Healthy You, that you can also find on my website. You have some yoga exercises which are really great to promote good digestion. And it's really easy yoga exercises, so you don't need to be a yogi, seasoned yogi to do them. So it will actually, that's exercises that will, well, poses that will actually really massage your internal organs really deeply, and really help the digestive system work properly. Rebounding is also a very good way to have things moving. So if you are like, if you have if you are in a situation when we are suddenly really very constipated, you can use mild laxative like psyllium, flax seeds, or mallow tea, or these kind of things. Just only use mild laxative so that you won't actually irritate the bowel. Abdominal breathing is a great tool as well. What you can, how do you do abdominal breathing? Well, simply you will breathe really deep into your belly. So at first, to get used to this kind of breathing, you can lie on your bed, put one hand on your belly and the other one on your chest. And really, you need, when you take an in breath, you really need to feel your belly moving up, and your chest moving up as well. And then when you take an out breath, you really need to feel your belly going down. So you can really massage your internal organs really deeply. And it can be really very, very impressive to see how simply doing abdominal breathing like five times every hour. You can set an alarm to make it a habit. Just 5 deep abdominal breathing per hour can really improve the transit dramatically. So it's really very, very impressive how such a kind of small and easy measure can improve the transit. Now you can make abdominal massage as well. Always make sure to massage clockwise so that you won't disrupt the digestion. And an important, very important point as well is to identify food intolerances or allergies. When we are allergic to something, we usually know it because the body reaction can be pretty violent. But intolerances are not that easy to identify actually, and we often have people who are actually intolerant to some foods, but they just don't know it. So it's very, very important to identify these intolerances, because they can really weigh heavily on your overall health, and especially on your intestine health. Now, how can you identify these food intolerances? Well, the best way I know is to stop eating potential allergen food for a while, and then gradually take them back into your diet, so that you will really see if there is a reaction. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. I will be glad to answer them. Yeah, about food intolerances. Well, of course, yeah, I mentioned that you will need to remove all the potential allergen foods like dairies and gluten and like legumes as well, eggs, so that when you remove all of them, you will not sorry, when you remove all of them, you will really know exactly which one you are reacting to when you take it back in your diet. Because if you remove just one of them, you cannot really know if the one you will react again to is the one you removed, or is it another one that you actually kept eating during that period. So it's really important to take them all out for a while and then take them back gradually. It's a process, of course, that is better done with someone who is experiencing that, because you really have to follow a protocol that is pretty precise, so that you will really be able to identify food intolerances properly. Yeah, another question is how do you do the detox? Well, you know, we hear a lot about like detox products like powders and pills and all these kind of things. And while it can be helpful, I think the best and the easiest way to do a detox is actually to just eat whole foods, and that have not been transformed and modified, and you know, so it's really just going back to basics. Remove sugar, remove all these potentially allergen foods we mentioned, and yeah, really go back to basics like fruits and vegetables and healthy fats, because these are the foods that create the less toxins in the body. I mean, like just the digestive process, of course, create toxins in the body, but our body is totally able to manage a certain amount of toxins. The problems arrive when there are just too much, like unhealthy food, too much stress, because stress is also one of the main toxin creator in the body. So all these kind of things, like the environmental pollutants, the cosmetics you apply on your skin as well, if they are full of chemicals, will also add toxins into your body. So the idea really during the detox is to lessen as most as possible the amount of toxins that you will actually put into your system, so that the body can like really have this rest, especially the digestive system, so that it can actually release all the toxin buildup. To tell you more about a detox you can do, I'd like to tell you a bit about the Holistic Winter Detox program I created. Really, it's a program that I've really created to help you with that process. To really detox your whole body, identify food intolerances or allergies, as I mentioned. It will even help you to get yourself free of from cravings, especially sugar cravings are a big challenge for many people. And it will really help you to get rid of that without deprivation. And after the detox, you will see that you will really feel reconnected to your body, and you will be able to listen, first to hear and to also listen to its messages much better. So that's a program that actually lasts 21 days, so 3 weeks. The first week is really a preparation week, so you don't you won't really change your diet much during that first week, but this first week will really help you get ready for the second and third weeks. So, and then the second week is really the heart of the program. It's really the detox week, when really we will really eat like this whole foods, and we will also work on the emotional detox, and taking the stress level down as well. And then during the third week, that's the transition week, when we will actually reintroduce the potential allergens into your diet, one at a time, as I said, following a precise protocol. It's of course it's not easy to do that just by yourself. So that's why I've created this program, when you are really guided step by step. Every day during the 21 day, you will receive an email from me with exactly what you can eat, and tips and information, and like detox supporting tools as well, what you can do to help support even more your body into releasing the toxins. You will receive during the first week, you will receive several guides where you have all the suggested meals for the second and third weeks. You have all the detox program at a glance, so that you know exactly what to expect. You will have lots of recipes as well, delicious recipes. You won't feel deprived. You can even have healthy snacks, so you will not be starving. And yeah, so it's really a step-by-step guidance that you will have all throughout the 21 days. You can even have more support by doing this detox program with a group. The next group actually starts on January the 8th, so that you can really start the new year on a healthy path. And doing it with a group, you have the advantage of more accountability with the Facebook group, and with a weekly call as well, when you will have even more support from me. You can ask questions live, you can interact with other participants, and as well you will have a one-on-one session with me, where we can discuss your unique challenges and how to address them. So that's really a very comprehensive program. So yeah, I also forgot to mention that you will have a shopping list, so that it will really help you. Well, you will know exactly what to buy for the next week. You will have a soul food journal, which will really help you also to see how you feel after eating certain foods, especially in the transition week, when you will start to take back into the diet your diet's potential allergen food. So you will really be able to journal exactly how you feel after eating these different foods, and lots of more bonuses that you can see on my website. So manukia.com/plus/winter-detox, where you will really have all the details about this program. I also like to mention you that there is a special offer going on at the moment, and until December the 20th. That's you can have a 2-for-1 special, which means that you can subscribe and for yourself and have another person doing the detox with you at the same time. So this offer is actually not listed on my website, but if you register before December the 20th, just drop me an email once you have registered, once you have your payment has gone through, and send me the first name and the email address of the other person you want to detox with, and I will automatically add them to the participants of the detox. So if you're still looking for a Christmas present, that's a great idea. Let me know if it's for a present, because I can even send you a beautiful gift voucher that you can either email to the person or you can print and give hand to hand. And if it's not for a gift, you can, of course, you can also like just share, split the price by 2 and split with a friend. So I'm really excited about offering this winter detox program, because I really refined it more and more with every time I did these seasonal detoxes. And I think, yeah, I'm really offering lots of support so that you can do it. You won't feel alone, you won't feel lost. You will see it really like no guessing, you know exactly what you can eat. You have, of course, several options. If the suggested meals don't suit your taste, you have other recipes available in the recipe book. So yeah, it's really close guidance and lots of motivation, accountability if you join the group program. So yeah, that's really a program I'm really excited to share with you, and I think it's really a great way to actually start the year. It's actually a beautiful investment you are doing in yourself, because you will, of course, do this detox, and you will feel more energized and like much lighter and glowing after that. And what you will gain, like really you can a long-term basis gain, is that you will actually really feel reconnected to your body. You will be able to understand the messages your body is sending you, and you will be able to detect like the beginning of an imbalance before it has much more serious consequences. So that's really a great investment you can make in your health. Okay, so if you have questions, feel free to either ask them here in the chat, or you can contact me on my website, www.manukia.com, and I will be happy to answer them. So thanks a lot for being here with me tonight. It was a pleasure to share this time with you. I hope you found this webinar informative and empowering. So now, because now that you know how important your gut health is for your overall health, you can now address the challenges you can be facing, and hopefully you have real ideas on how to address that. So thanks again for being with me, and I will see you again maybe in the detox group, or one-on-one or VIP. You will see different options on my website in January, or at a next occasion. So take care and bye for now.